guys, I'm back with part two. In part two, I'm just going to tell you about how I guess, kind of applied everything that I learned. I'm just basically putting it into real life. So, let's see, how did I begin? I would say there's just certain things I would start to do. There's like no particular order or anything. It's just things that I was starting to do as a way of implementing what I was learning and reading about in the Bible, and understanding how God does things, how he wants us to go about things, and how we're supposed to keep our hearts, and just different things like that. So I'm trying to apply those things to real life. So one of the things I did was I would watch how I talk to people, because I was very rude before. I was very inconsiderate of other people's feelings. I just literally didn't care what anybody else thought, felt, wanted, needed, anything. It didn't matter. So you have to remember that I'm going through this journey with this mindset, this previous mindset of I don't care. I don't care. So trying to transform that is what I was trying to do, right? So now when I come into contact with people and I'm talking to them, I'm making sure that I'm always conscious of, not being rude, being considerate, letting people express themselves just like I'm expressing myself, or what else would I do? Just basically being mindful of someone else in that space at that time, right? Another thing that I would do is, and the reason that I was doing this is because what I was learning was that you just don't have the right to treat anybody any kind of way. Like, just like you're a child of God, he has other children, and those are the people that you're interacting with in the world. And out of respect for him, you have to treat these people with respect and kindness and gentleness and yada, 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 like, because that is what he told you to do. And he also told us that if you have a problem with this or that person, you need to come to him about it. So instead of going off on that person, I did a lot of ignoring. Like, I would ignore things, or I would close my mouth and hold my tongue. I would go and pray to God about it. Like, it was so hard sometimes because I'm used to, getting back with you. Like, so to hold my tongue took a lot of strength and a lot of prayer and a lot of just stopping to think. Like, that, I did a lot of that. I would stop and think. You're talking to me, you're yelling at me, you're doing something I don't like, whatever it is, I would stop and take it in and think, because what I'm thinking is, what do you want to say next? What do you want to do next? Why do you want to do that? Is that going to help this situation, or is it going to make it worse? Like, so this is what I'm doing. I'm slowing down my thoughts. Instead of just reacting, I think first, right? And that took a lot of practice. That didn't happen overnight. That took a lot of, like, real conscious effort to do that. That a lot of times I would find myself when I would not respond to people, it was, probably because, out of respect, you shouldn't speak to people in a certain way. You need to take it to God, da da da. But there was also the part of, every time you allow someone to take you out of your element and put you in a place, a negative place that you don't want to be in, they have power over you. So learning that was helped me in understanding that if you do this, they win, right? They win. They now have power over you, and you have now undone all the hard work that you put into this. So I always say, even today, that nobody, no matter what they do, is going to take me out of this good place that I have worked really hard to get to. So I let a lot of things go. Some people are like, no, you can't let people get away with this, or that. Yes, I can. And yes, I will. Because if it's going to damage me in a way, or if pursuing this person is going to make me unhappy, it's going to dampen my light, it's going to interrupt this peaceful journey that I'm on, then I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. Because it's not worth it to me. Like, certain things are just not worth it. Now, certain things are worth it, and you're gonna fight for certain things, just in a better way. But yeah, I just wanted to say that part, because that's very important, that they're not getting away with anything. Like, God is going to deal with them. As long as you do things the way that you're supposed to do them, the way that He told you to do them, He says vengeance is His. He will take care of that person, that situation. He will take care of it. So don't make that getting someone back or paying someone back your agenda. That's not your place, basically, is what I'm saying. That's not our place to do that. Even though society will tell you that, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you shouldn't let people do this, you shouldn't let... You will learn that society's way and God's way is going to be very different, okay, a lot of the time. So I would say more times than not, I would let it go. I would let it go and talk to God about it and push through. Like, it was hard, but I would push through it. Another thing, I didn't listen to depressing music. I would only listen to upbeat music. I wouldn't watch depressing or dark shows, because I was in a place where I'm trying to get on level ground. Right now I'm on shaky ground, trying to go down this road, and so anything that's gonna tip me over has to go. It was like I had a everything must go mentality. Everything must go. If it's not, I was like tunnel vision. If it does not help me to get on the path of the Lord, it's gotta go. Another thing I did was, if you were a person that were, like, you had just had constant drama around you, or you just were a negative person, or just no light coming from you at all, like, I had to distance myself from you. And some people didn't understand that, because they think, like, oh, what is she thinks she's better than me now, or da 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 da. And it's not about being better than you. It is that I'm trying to get to a place that you aren't currently at, and if I don't move away from you, I can't progress to that place, because you are my past. You are where I'm trying to come away from. And that was great when I was like that. We meshed well because we were a lot alike. But now I want to reach to a higher place. And so I can't take you with me. Unless you're going to go on this journey with me, I can't take you with me and you stay the way that you are. Like, it's not going to work, So I had to distance myself from certain people. Another thing was, and I must say too, that was not easy, because remember, you have this place inside of you that is a place of comfort, where you're used to, whether it's bad or not, you're used to being in that place, so you want to stay there, even though it's not helping you, even though you're unhappy, but it's comfortable. It's uncomfortable. So you want to stay. And so you kind of got to like, during this time, I'm learning that I have to like push through that uncomfortableness. Like I had to push through, and that was the bulk of the struggle with putting this all into real life terms. Like it was pushing through those times when I wanted to quit because it was stretching me. It was stretching me in a way that I had never been stretched before. Mentally, emotionally, I was bringing out emotions in myself that I didn't even know were there. I remember during this part of the journey, I'm praying to God because I had no empathy for people. I didn't feel anything. Like, I could see somebody crying right in front of me, and I felt nothing. And I knew something was wrong with that. But I think because of all the years that I had practiced closing myself off from those emotions so that I wouldn't get hurt, I had done that for so long. I was good at it. I had gotten very good at it, and to the point that now I didn't even know how to, reverse it. So I remember during this time going into deep prayer about asking the Lord to please help me to feel empathy. And you would think, oh my goodness, like who doesn't have empathy for people? Literally, it was something that I struggled with, and I'll tell you more about that in part 3. But just know that was something that I prayed a lot about. It was something that I knew that I should be feeling, and I still had that voidness in me because of the wall that I had built. So, what else? So another thing I did, I started to try to remember things that made me happy, like what was fun to me. I've been in the darkness for so long, and you're depressed, you're unhappy, you're negative, you're all these things. You don't know what is happy. Like, what do I enjoy doing? So that was something that I set out to figure out. So I would do things that normally I would be like, no, I don't want to do that. 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 No, not in the mood for that. Not in the mood for that. So now I would push myself to do it anyway. Let's go ride the bikes. I haven't ridden a bike in years. I want to ride a bike. I'm going to ride it. So I ride a bike, feel the fresh air, just be out and enjoying life. Like, that was the best thing ever. Me and my daughter would go and ride the bikes. And you would think that's like nothing. I mean, you're riding a bike. But it was starting to open up a place in me that I didn't even know existed. This light. You're in this dark, dark place, and you're finally seeing light at the end of that tunnel. And it's getting closer, within your reach. And so I would, ride the bikes. I would go on trips. I would go, I would plan a bunch of activities for us to do. And I would laugh more. Oh my goodness. So I would make it a point to find ways to just laugh. That was something that I didn't realize I didn't do enough of. I was not laughing enough. So I would laugh more. And just try to be in the moment. Because a lot of times I would be in a place and my mind would be somewhere else. Somewhere totally has nothing to do with where I'm at right in that moment. So I tried to make a conscious effort of being in that moment, meaning enjoy what is happening right now in front of you and think about nothing but that. Another thing is when I would get bad thoughts, because we all get them, and this is something that I would carry with me forever, really, because I still now do this. But when I would have bad thoughts, had learned this. I learned that you have to replace them with good thoughts. So you not only can just like, I'm thinking, of, I don't know, telling somebody off. Instead of just removing that thought, you have to replace it with something good. Like, instead, I'm just going to choose to believe that that person is going through something, and that is why they're choosing to respond to me the way that they are. So I did a lot of that. I would give reasons other than my immediate thought. I would give reasons why, you never know what could be going on with another person. Maybe they're, feeling like this, maybe that. That helped me to counteract my bad thought of, no, I know she thinking this, and that. I know this, and that. You don't know anything. You don't know anything. Like, so basically, I started telling myself, maybe it's something else. So basically, giving people the benefit of the doubt is what I started to do and what I still do. What else? I would apologize more. Um, Instead of thinking that I was always right, I would apologize more and try to see somebody else's point of view more. Because sometimes when you're talking back and forth with another person, you're so you're so into what your point is, what your idea is, what your thought is, that you kind of just breeze right past what this other person may be feeling or thinking. So that was another thing that I would do. I also would, when people were going through things, and you want to be there for people when they're going through something, that's obviously you would want to do that. But one thing that I used to do is I would take on the person's problem. I would take it home with me. I would, roll it around in my head over and over again. I would literally, this was now my problem. I would take on their problem. And then it became my stress. And so I stopped doing that. So I would be there in that moment with that person and help them, guide them, and give them advice and, help them through it in that moment. But when we separated, when we parted ways, I would pray to God for them and their situation, and I would let it go. I would let it go. And I would go on with my day and enjoy my day. I would periodically check on that person, but I would not let their situation consume me, basically, to where now I can't function in my day or I can't enjoy my day. So I found that that was something that I needed to do, was stop taking on other people's problems. And what else? It was a lot of things. Overall, I had to learn that this, that thing, if you want to live your life and have it be a peaceful life, that you had to learn God's way. Because he gave us a way, like basically he laid a plan for us. And he's saying, if you do it this way, even with all the bad stuff around you, you can have this peace and joy, right? And it's true. It's true. We're going to talk about it in part 3. It is very true. It is just a matter of learning the strategies, using the resources, and actually applying them. So I'm going to stop there because then I'm going to get into part 3 and I'm trying not to do that. So, thanks for watching. Comment, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And come back for part 3 where I reveal the results. So, hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye.